Hey guys, another day in the fish room. I'm excited. I finally get to work in the fish room again. You don't realize it, but there's been like a week or 2 weeks between the video that you saw last and this one. Real life just keeps getting in the way, so I don't get much done in the fish room, or at least my fish room days when I'm really working on it. But a lot of you have been requesting like, oh, let's look at the fish, that type of thing. Even though I don't have that many fish yet, I will show you some things, and why not? Let's get started. So, Liberty Mollies. I suspect there's something going on in this tank. Some of the males are very, very skinny, even though I'm putting lots of food to them. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to use some levamisol or something like that, even though I haven't seen any Calmaneris redworm. You know, there's still some babies in there. Probably can't see it on screen, but you know, they're starting to grow up a little bit. Need to get some more cover in here, plant-wise, for sure. I could probably dose some fertilizers and things like that, but you know, I want to get these guys squared away and you know, putting on some serious weight, which is just not happening with all the frozen foods and stuff I'm doing. Got blue-green algae setting in here. I probably need to get some erythromycin and things like that. Probably need to put some dithers in. You know, this pair of Benchai will just not breed for me no matter what I've done so far, so I probably need to give them something to hate on, like some tetras or something swimming up here that they can bond together with. This tank right here, nothing going on really. That's just a baby and a molly. No, I mean, I should say they're both mollies, but that's a baby from what came in outside. They you know, came in pretty cold. They were pretty weak, so yeah, this tank's kind of in stasis. Down here, we've got the blue Moscow guppies, or you know, whatever you want to call them. And we've got some fry going on and raising up and stuff down here. Lots of algae I haven't taken care of yet, but as you know, I'm not afraid of algae. Down here, got one of my favorite fish. And that is the Pygmy Platy. And they're very shy. If I can zoom in here. They're a platy that only gets like 1.5 inches. So they get some nice blue on the males and stuff like that, but they're still really shy. I need to set up the tank and I need to get them thriving. So there's so many that you can see them all the time. But you know, that's all in the to-do phase. Over here, lots of blue Silverado endlers, and they're starting to make some fry and things now that I got some Java moss in there. Obviously we're auto feeding them. In this tank, got some algae going, but these are the pseudotropheus Saulosi fry that we're growing out, so that's kind of cool. And I've also got some Corydoras in here. And if I can get down under there, they're hiding out. Those are Weitzmani cories, which long term I'm going to attempt to breed and things like that. But for right now, still playing musical chairs with the tanks. They were over in some of the other 40-gallon tanks, but now they're just doing cleanup duty after these fry that are, you know, putting on size and growing and pushing forward. So that's nice. I'll show you the newest thing in my fish room that I'm super excited about. Cost me an arm and a leg. You know, I paid way too much money, but I was able to get the big ear or Dumbo ear guppies. So if I can zoom in on some of these males that are racing around chasing females, you can see how their you know, their fins are just ridiculous. And then you can see these females. These females are no joke either. Like, the average person might think, oh, look at those males, and nope, those are females with nice blue tails. The males get red tails, and you know, no fry yet. These just came in. Let's see, today's Tuesday. I want to say last Wednesday. So they've been here for about a week. They seem to be doing really well. Obviously, I'm going to get things really set up and get them cranking some babies out because I love this fish. I've been trying to get it for a while. And you know, it was only available overseas, and I was lucky enough to get some from a guy in California. This group here was shipping, cost me about $220. So, you know, I'm hoping once I get them going I can sell some pairs and stuff in my store to recoup some of that cost and bring in some more ridiculously awesome guppies. But yeah, so hopefully as the fish room videos go on, you'll see more stuff like this. This is what I want to be doing, and you know, one of those things that popped up, couldn't help myself, had to bring it in even though the fish room isn't done. It might be, ooh, won't get a chance to get these again. Plus, I'm just in love with them. I could stare at these things all day. So, yeah, enough about these bigger guppies that are amazing. Let's go down here to some of the red delta guppies that I have. Still not cranking fry out. Oh, I lied. I do have fry. They're not cranking them out yet, but you know, I've got cover in here. This is Java moss. Got lots of caves because there's Claro Plecos in here as well. Got some buse. But yeah, these guys hopefully will start cranking out some more babies and things. Got an auto feeder going. Just a guppy I like. Nothing wrong with that. If we go over here, as I crawl around on my fish room floor, we've got the baby Bristlenose and the breeding pair in here. I don't think they've put out another pair yet. I think I'm struggling to keep these guys fed a little bit. I probably need to feed a lot more green beans. You know, they're a little skinny, and I don't have any algae growth in here like I really wish I did, and they're so easy to hurt at this stage. I can't really move them either. So, you know, reality, this is probably a little premature tank. I didn't know necessarily that they would spawn this early, and it's not quite ready. But you can see they're not putting on a ton of size yet. You know, there is food in there. You know, that's part of an algae wafer, and they are on an auto feeder as well. So I mean, there's plenty of food going in, no doubt. You know, and the shrimp are doing well and things like that. But might be a little premature to really, you know, I can see. I probably can't zoom in enough, but you can see that in their stomach they are eating. But I just usually like to see a little faster growth than what I'm seeing here. Up top here, this is just a tank without a sponge filter at the moment. Was an experiment for Daphnia and live blackworms. That being said, now it just holds a goldfish that was used to clean up the blackworms, and then some of these kind of big plump, let me try and block that glare there, big plump Julii Corydoras that I want to breed. So they're just kind of sitting around being awesome at the moment, waiting for me to catch up with them. Yeah, so still, you know, a couple empty tanks there, empty tank here, a couple more empty tanks down here. You know, just growing algae, getting ready for if I'm going to do Bristlenose or whatever I'm going to do in there. In here I've got the Cyprichromis, and they're, you know, just sitting around. I brought some more plants home from the store, but I haven't gotten around to planting them yet. They're kind of just sitting there, you know, so that's more to do. Let's see here, let me grab a remote control. I've got this is one of the demo 24/7 lights that we got before they released to the public to test them out and give our input and things like that. So I've just got it sitting here on this 40-gallon tank, and let me go ahead and turn it to max there. This is kind of stuff I brought in from another tank. You might see this video where we redo someone else's tank and a buddy of mine's, and so this is a Delhaize Bichirs got in there. And if I go flip the light on here, let me flip the light on for the main room because I don't have any light on the tank that's above it yet. I've got a large Datnoid up in this tank. You know, if I can get him to come over here, and got a glare now that I put all the lights on up above. But you know, this guy is probably as big as my hand. He's a big one. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Maybe the side view's better. But he's big. You know, he's bigger than that sponge filter for sure. Let me go ahead and turn the lights off so I can finish the little tour I've got going here. You know, so I'm hoping, you know, that as I get more lights, it'll kind of look like a fish store in here. I like this look. It's real subtle, and you can kind of walk in and just enjoy the fish. So, you know, the more tanks I get lit up and the more stuff I've got going, the better. Kind of an empty tank there. A bunch of crypts down here that need to melt back and come to their underwater state, their submerged state. Down here is just a goldfish with some stuff going on, so I need to run some meds through it. Up here we've got kind of a breeder situation going on for some of those Delta Guppies, and you can watch a video that'll be coming out, if it hasn't already come out by the time you watch this video, on how to make something like this. This is what they would do in a commercial breeding facility where they have you know, all their females and males in the cone here, the cylinder, and the fry will come out to the mops and things like that. And you can also put the males, or not the males, but the adults on the outside and vice versa. Let's see, over in here we got red zebras, and you know, that's just still going on here. Over in this tank we've got Oscars still. I've been able to get rid of about 10 of them so far, so only another 30 to go or something crazy. Got yellow labs down below. Over in this tank, just got a Variatus platy chilling. Another empty tank here. Down below, we've got a pair of Cacatuoides that I'm trying to get going, and you know, big female there. And then the male's in the back there. The male I brought in was young. I lost the male a while ago, so you know, that's going to take a little while to come to fruition or whatnot. Then I'll show just a couple more tanks here. Here's, you know, my turtle tank. I've got some turtles, and you know, there's some Africans in there. And you know, the hilarious part is you're watching a dwarf neon rainbow and a pregnant pseudotropheus saulosi like dance and mess with each other, you know. And the hilarious part to me is, you know, I've kind of got this fish living with this mishmash of group of fish, and there's people that kill for that rainbow because it's F1 from Gary Lang, but I just like it, and he's always done really well in this aquarium, and so I leave him in there. He holds his own with the Africans and the turtles and things like that, so, you know, I'm big on, if it's thriving and enjoying life, why remove him? Who am I to tell that male rainbow that he's not having the time of his life? I mean, his colors are great, he eats like a king, you know, he holds his own with Africans and turtles, so, you know, he seems to be loving life. He probably is. I could, you know, get some more, and I'm afraid that if I brought more in, that the turtles or whatever would kill him. So, you know, a little afraid of that. So that's why I don't do that. But still got red Russian lace guppies going on in here. Lots of algae still. This is one of my biggest projects I need to get going. I need to move fish out of here, and I've moved a lot out of here, but there is a billion shrimp in here still. And that's the problem. I need to top it off with water, but, you know, I tell myself I should fill this with water, and then I tell myself no, I should drain it and move it. But then I tell myself, like, literally, this is one little spot. You can count what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shrimp, and as you just move through this grass, there are a billion, and this is just the top. So for me to move this tank, you know, and the way when I move it, I have to drill it and everything, so it's got to come all the way down. It's not just a simple, oh yeah, I'll drain it down low, move it, set it back up. Because I got to drill it and everything, and I want to paint it and things like that, I'm a little worried. You know, I've thought about maybe, you know, let's pretend this is the back of the aquarium. Maybe I drain it really crazy low, I move it, and I drill it on its side, which I'm not recommending, and I'm not even sure it's a good idea. I could probably make it happen, maybe. Then I paint it while it's on its side, which I'm going to get runs and things like that, not optimal on every level, but I won't have to catch a billion shrimp, and that sounds awesome. So, and I've kind of got the same problem going on over here. You know, orange shrimp everywhere, things like that. Lots of, you know, fish. It's going to be a nightmare. But, you know, I'll take one nightmare at a time. Down here, another nightmare in the making. I've got all my Panda Guppies and the Pygmy Swordtails going on here. And the Pygmy Swordtails are really starting to take off. I can see quite a few of them. That's nice. So it's a rare fish. Let's see if I can zoom in on some for you guys. I know it's a dark tank, but that's just because I haven't had time to fix it. You know, it's perfectly healthy in terms of fish are really thriving and doing well visually. You know, I'm not happy to show you guys, you know, oh look, you know, look how dark it is and things. But, you know, that being said, there's infinite floating plants, you know, infinite, that's all Salvinia and stuff like that. So, you know, the water's very, very, very clean. And so yeah, that's my fish room so far. You know, that's zooming into my face here. You guys don't want to see that. It's horrible. That's my fish room so far. Next things I've got on the docket today, hopefully, is one, clean up all these projects. I mean, there's literally about 50 different projects I've done through here. All of this needs to get cleaned up. And general cleanup on the fish room. And then I've got things, you know, like here's another video and project I want to show you guys how to do in this bag. And so I want to film some of those today. I've also got this cool idea. Let me flip the light on now that we're not looking at tanks. And you can just see there's, you know, bins from bringing stuff home, and you know there's a drill here, and all this stuff needs to get put away. I'm disorganized at the moment, and you know here's my other workbench. But I've got cool projects I want to do. I've got an idea where I'm going to take this and show you guys how to make an automatic fish feeder for a pond or something like that. I want to shoot a video on this cool apparatus. If you guys have never seen what this does, this is the Black & Decker, what do they call this thing? The thermal leak detector. And so you take a reading on a surface, and so it's telling me that the wall right here is 74.6, and then you start going around, and you can find where leaks and different temperature is. And yeah, we're watching it change on here, and I've got it set to 5 degrees at the moment. Whenever something is 5 degrees cooler, it's going to change the color of light. And so what that allows me to do is if we go and look at some things like, you know, the other project I haven't finished, which would be this hatch. Let me go ahead and take another reading here. So I want to build an insulated hatch. So we can see it's 72.8 on the ceiling here. And then, oh, we notice, oh man, it's 10 degrees colder on this hatch. So that's why I need to insulate this hatch, is I know heat's just rising up in my room and going right out my hatch right there to my attic. That's not good. You know, we can come over here and we can analyze the door as well. And this is like a $25 tool or something like that, or $30. I don't know. I'd have to look it up again. But so there's, you know, my door. It's at 68.9 degrees or whatever. And yeah, you can go around and just start looking. You just follow the green light, and when it turns blue, you know, like, oh man, we're 5 degrees colder. That's got to be way worse. And luckily, we're not running into too many problems today. Oh, but then you can see, like, oh, it's starting to tell me, hey, it's getting really cold right there. And then you go, well, you know, look at that. There's tons of open air there. And it allows you to just kind of go around. And now all of a sudden you can see, like, oh geez, I'm probably losing a decent amount of heat down through this whole area here, because we know it's only 57 degrees down there. So yeah, cool toy. But I'm gonna get to work and work on some stuff, hopefully get this cleaned up. I'll check in throughout the day, and I'm not gonna get that much time to work. I want to say it's already 12:30 or something like that, and at 5 I've got to leave because it's the Aquarium Society's Christmas party, so I got to go and have a great time. But nevertheless, I'm gonna get stuff done, so to work for me. Well, it's like 4 o'clock now. Got sidetracked, I guess, but making some headway. There's no doubt about that. As you can see behind me, got the table out of the way and cleared the deck, so to speak. So now I'll be able to put in the next row when I'm ready. I can actually walk without tripping. I've got a place for the table. Still got to clean more of the table off and put supplies away. And I still got the same problem on that table. Lots of sorting to do, but you know, things are coming around and I can walk around. That's always a good thing. Makes things easier. And every once in a while you just got to have a cleanup day. That's just the way it goes. You know, it's faster to build when you're working in a clean space. So that's what I'm getting done today. It's all part of the fish room. You know, it's all fun and games breeding fish, but we also got to clean. So did some water changes on the big tanks with the 300 cichlids in it a piece, that type of thing. And yeah, back to work for me. Well, it's after 5 o'clock now, and I gotta get ready for a Christmas party, the GSAS Christmas party, fish related. But got most of the always clean. Got this organized a lot more here. I've got my battery charger mounted and things. So that I've got a workstation. I've got, you know, supplies for some DIY videos here that I want to show you guys, things like that. Got down here all swept up and, you know, looking better. I got that whole part done. Didn't finish this yet. Still got a little more to do. It's lots of projects that you guys are going to watch come out. I mean, there's binder clips and yarn and all kinds of things and stuff in bags. So there's no real home for it yet. I do need to make a system down below, I believe, that's going to hold PVC parts. So I'll probably do that. But anyway, thanks for tuning in for this Thursday, or this Thursday when you'll be watching it. It's Tuesday for me right now, but you'll be watching it on Thursday. And yeah, feel like I got a lot done. Oh, by the way, I disabled some of my overhead lights, and by disabled I mean unplugged them, just because they weren't needed. So I'll show that off as well. To try and conserve electricity and things, we've got some that are spun around on the side. We spun this around on the side too. It used to go, you know, this way. So that way we're lighting up kind of the shop area and not so much the tanks, since the tanks already have lights on them. And then we unplug that light and that light as well. This tank doesn't have a light on it yet, so we're leaving that one going, but the goal will be to unplug that one as well soon, once we get some proper lighting for all the tanks. But I thank you for watching. Check out our other videos. I shot a bunch of Quick Tip Tuesday videos today, and got some things out of the way for that. And on Sundays we do real fish talk, and then Friday it's those little products I've been showing you, parts and pieces I've got that I have no home yet. Well, you'll see what comes out of those. So we'll see you in the next video, and thanks for watching.